no weapon without a license. I was on the radio, and the guy said, well, brother, the guy didn't get locked up for shooting himself in the leg. He got locked up for not having a license for a gun. And I told him he's not paying attention to what I said to him. I said, he's a Negro that should not have had a gun. He shot himself. I said, listen, you have to study the black codes to find out what's going on. That's what I shared with him. But he thought he was trying to tell me something. And I said, dude, I'm not talking about that. If they said if we give them, and the Art of War states that also, if we give them guns, make sure those guns are our guns. So now if I want to come get the gun, I know everybody who has a licensed gun because it's already marked, it's registered. This is the propaganda that's being put out right now. You must have a gun. So now they have to put poster boards up, give somebody a gun, X, Y, and Z. They create the climate. They create these things to happen the way they're happening. But nobody's really in the media talking with these entertainers and saying, listen, brother, don't be stupid, dude. You know what I mean? At least get somebody that you're with that can at least, because it's a business. Think about it for a minute. If I hire you, you getting paid. It's an occupation, right?
Right.
You're my security guard now. Now you can have it, but I understand the law states that I have a right to bear it. If you can argue that issue, but the status issue, again, is who you are. Do you have a right or a privilege to bear that arm? Because the Constitution says that you have a right to bear arms. But the black code said the Negroes, the free Negroes, not slaves, these are free Negroes. You can research this stuff. It said free Negroes.
So in essence, the black codes has superseded constitutional law. Is that what you're saying?
It don't supersede it. The black codes don't really do that, but there were laws in the counties that, okay, we can free the Negroes, but we can put the laws on the books that they can't have guns. So now, only if you're working for the slave master, that's for all the Negroes on the police department too, all the Negroes that's on the sheriff department, because now I gave you the privilege to do that.
How does this tie back into the conversation in our last tape talking about territories? So you're saying based on the territories? Based on the territories.
Okay. Based on if you are in that territory jurisdiction, or, you know, let's say, because people get it messed up. They think in the state is the territory. Territories are inside states, period. So if you're in a geographical area, that's the territory of the United States. But still, we can license you to be there. So the guy that shot himself or any other so-called brother that's there, they cannot have guns. Only if the slave master said, yes, you can have the gun. And it actually was for hunting. You know?
Which is interesting. A lot of the slave codes themselves only allowed, quote-unquote, free Negroes to do certain things if they were somehow given the right by European or former slave masters, or if they were in the service of.
Yes, and this is why these things are happening right now. So brothers say, well, I got a license to carry a gun, I feel better than you. Well, no, you have a right to do it, but we have to change the people's mentality. We have to change the people who's carrying the gun. Let's go talk with them and build with them instead of killing each other. This is why I love certain brothers like you, Hakeem, from Channel Light. Like, we all build on this thing. Let's stop the violence. Let's stop the violence amongst each other. How do we do that? We have to communicate and talk with one another. This is how we stop this. It ain't, like I said, it ain't the gun. I could be a spokesperson for being shot many times when I've been shot. But it's not the gun itself, it's the person behind the gun. I'm against gun control. Control your gun. I'm against gun control. Control it. All right? So here's some more parts inside here. This also states that the Negro may not carry knives or firearms unless we're licensed to do so. If, he says, if it was an offense to be punished by, now this is back then, they charge people a little bit more, don't they? This says $50 fine. They charge you like crazy right about now. I don't know how much.
They charged my man $100,000.
$100,000. Oh, they damn sure did. They charged him $100,000. It's wow how this is blended into what's happening. It says to be punished by a fine of $50 and imprisonment for 30 days to give or sell. Wow. And it says,
so the day they give him 5 years.
Huh? Today they give them 5 years.
What
So
they call it a criminal act, though.
exactly, it was for Negroes. And when it pertains to Caucasian, what do they call it? White collar crimes, don't they? Smack you in the wrist and you run with it. Oh man, this is what they're going to do to him. They're going to get him. Now, it says, when the Negroes could not pay the fine and cost after legal proceeding, they were to be hired at public outcry. What's the public outcry? I don't even know what that is. By the sheriff to the lowest bidder.
They became indentured servants until they could pay off their debts.
Wouldn't it be like a snitch?
Well, no.
No, I'm just saying, listen, though, wouldn't it be like a snitch today?
Could be.
You do something to inform me on what's going on.
Right, right.
We'll let you go. Don't they do that? Tell me what's going on. We're going to let you go.
Right.
Just fill us in. They are indentured servants.
Right, right, right. But what I'm saying more to the point is that, the public outcry is that based on the fact that you can't pay your fine, your charge, your fee.
Yes.
Okay, that we are going to, in effect, hold you over because now you have become property of the state.
They already are property of the state.
I know they are.
They ward to the court.
Right.
They wards. They have awards everywhere. If anybody pick up a Webster's dictionary and look up the definition of a ward, it says the keeper of minors or keeper of insane people. So now you have a ward and you go to jail, you have what? A ward-in. So really you're a person of unsound mind. You're not capable of handling your own affairs. This is what they're doing. So and what I'm trying to show is that the connection between the two about what they did back then is still on the books. The game is the same, but the players are different. The game is the same, but the players are different. Don't try to steal that, everybody, because I heard a couple people say we're going to steal that piece right there. And I'm just trying to show you like what is going on with this. So we talked about this guy not having a license. Anybody pick up the U.S. Constitution or their state constitution, if you are Michigan, New York, wherever you at, Pennsylvania, it will tell you the same thing. The states cannot get involved with you bearing arms.
Quick question.
Can't interfere.
Were the black codes ever truly eliminated from, even though we understand in an indirect way they are still in force, but as an overview of an outward lay, what's the best way to say that? Can anybody just go and find in the law books black codes?
Yeah, I got it right here.
Okay.
The black codes, actually, it's in this book.
Which book is that again?
This is Black's Law Dictionary.
Okay. I'm
ready to go right to it. I'm glad you brought that up because I looked at it last night and really I wanted to read this for people. It's actually in here. And if we can get a close up on here also so people can see this. That's why I said I wish we had this set up. 1 second. Should have had this bookmarked also. Huh? Say that again?
Papers.
Huh? What you say about my papers? There you go. This is taken from Black's Laws, 6th edition, page 170. The Black Code, a name given collectively to the body of laws, statutes, and rules enforced in various southern states prior to 1865, which regulated the institution of slavery, and particularly those forbidding their slaves to be in public or public convenience, and it talks about the Civil Rights Act in here. So the Black Codes are in Black's Law Dictionary. So yes, it's in there. You can find it. And it said prior to 1865. But what happens, you heard them say the codes, the statutes, and regulations. So when you're dealing with city ordinances, there are regulations regulating the slave, no matter what state you in. So they say, well, that was the southern states. They did it. They only took what they did in the southern states and brought it also up to the north too. Same thing. Like I said, the game is the same, but the players are different. Same exact thing. And most of this stuff took place down in those places.